This video is to tell you about the difference in the CAT 25 and a CAT 24 paper. It will help you understand how small changes do occur from one paper to the other. So you can expect similar changes maybe in CAT 2026. Right? My name is Patrick, run Patrick 100, mainly there in MBA Entrance Preparation. So what we're looking at, what changed in the 3 years for DLR, for VRC, for QA. So if you look at DRR, was tougher. I mean, what made it drastically tougher as compared to the previous year was the DRR section. CAT 24 had a comparatively much easier DRR section. The CAT 24 DRR section again went tough. Also, difference was this, there were more DI sets. I mean, if you look at, there were quite a few sets with graphs and charts, whereas in CAT 25 there was more logic-based sets, so more number logic set which was there. So a lot of numbers and logic involved with that. So that made a difference. The increase in difficulty level of the DILR sets in CAT 25 brought down the cutoffs in the CAT 25 paper, right? So the good attempts dropped sharply, and as I said, fewer DI based sets which was there. That was the major change, right? So DILR spiked difficulty level in 25. Because of DILR, the difficulty level went up in 25 and more logic based sets. If you look at the VARC, Theta questions made a comeback. There was no Theta questions, no parajumbles in CAT 24. The CAT 25 had parajumbles and it was Theta based. So that was the one major change that happened. The RC was moderately difficult. Comparatively, CAT 24 was similar as 24. I mean, it's not major difference as such. So what made major change, and this was a major structural change that happened in the exam, was that Theta based parajumbles was introduced. It was there before, it was missing last year, and it had come again this year as such. So there was VA. There was 2 questions each of parajumble, sentence completion, para summary, and odd sentence. So 2 questions each. Also, it was a little different in the difficulty level. The slot 1 was slightly tougher as compared to slot 3. Okay, and that's what changes happen in VA. If you look at Quant, little harder and less reliance on geometry. There was more of algebra and arithmetic. So there was in 24 there was a good mix of arithmetic, algebra, or geometry questions. And geometry had decent representation, but the geometry went down a bit, not too much, it went down a bit. So there were around 2 to 3 questions per set, per slot in geometry. Focus was more on arithmetic and algebra, right? That was what dominated. Also, difficulty levels went up a little bit, okay? Especially the later slot was comparatively harder as compared to morning slot. But yes, that was the change as far as Quant was concerned. Less geometry and more on algebra arithmetic, which happened. So if I summarize it, DLR tougher and more logic sets. VRC they introduced parajumbles, otherwise it was more or less similar. Quant little harder and geometry reduced. So this was a summary in terms of what changes happened. Do like the video, do share and subscribe Patrick 100 our channel. We'll come up with a lot of videos that will help you with regards to preparation.